What's up, everybody? This is my last day here in DC. I'm sad to go home. I love this town. This was my first time here, and I had a blast between the Young Black Leadership Summit and the Walkaway event. It's just tremendous energy. I met so many great people. Took some great photos. It was pretty much all smiles from beginning to end, and sad to wrap it up, but it's also very productive. And the work is not done yet. We still have a little over a week until midterms, and I've got family coming in town next week. I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to kind of gauge their level of interest in politics now and see where they stand as far as midterms goes. But one thing I want to talk about, and this is gonna be my last live stream. I head to the airport here, but one last thing I want to get out, and I have to talk about it. And it hasn't really been talked about by a lot of people yet, but it's starting to bubble up to the surface. I just posted about it actually on my Facebook page if you want to check it out there. But the Reverend Al Sharpton, the tax evading, race baiting, poverty gatekeeping Al Sharpton, decided he would go on MSNBC. I guess he has a show on there. He's active on that network. And he slammed the Young Black Leadership Summit for going to the White House and meeting with the president. He said that we were paid. We were paid to be here by the president. He also said that this was just a photo op of President Trump using black people. And I'm beyond disgusted. Although I'm going to say this, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Al Sharpton would have that kind of reaction, because this further proves how bigoted the left is. You can't just meet with the president. If you meet with the president, you're uneducated, you're a token Negro, you're a house Negro, you were paid to be there, you're a token, you're a prop. They can't simply accept a difference of opinion. That's why I say I don't back down, I double down. So I will be wearing my Trump attire, make America great again stuff, American flags. I'm going to down on that, because at the end of the day, I am exposing the hypocrisy, the double standards of the left. The left, you guys have to understand, the liberal thought plantation is a thing. It's real. It's not just limited to black people. You notice conservatives anywhere, of any race, of any ethnic background, are demonized. That if they don't submit to the orthodoxy, the dogma, the mainstream opinion of President Trump, well, they get raked over the coals. They almost get cast out of the human race. They just look at you like you're less than. Like somehow, if you don't agree that Trump is a bigot and a racist, if you don't agree with that, somehow you're less worthy of oxygen, apparently. It's really sad, but I'm happy to kind of be that person who takes the arrows. So if someone wants to treat me a certain way because I'm wearing a Make America Great Again hat or a Trump shirt or anything else having to do with this president, if I have to, take those arrows to expose bigotry and who's really bigoted, I'm happy to do that, because you know what? I guarantee you this, I'm treated better by conservatives than I've ever been treated by liberals. I guarantee you this, if I were wearing an Obama shirt and walking through an area where it's nothing but Republicans, no one's going to hurl insults at me. No one's going to say anything to me. They probably won't say anything. Yeah, I doubt I would even get any dirty looks. They'd probably just be like, okay, he likes Obama, whatever. As a conservative, as a free thinker, if I saw someone right now wearing a Hillary Clinton hat, I'm not going to give them a second. I'm not going to give them the time of day. I barely will notice them. I'll be like, oh, you support Hillary. I mean, whatever. In my head, I might be thinking lock her up, but I'm not going to treat that person any different. They could come over, I'd have a discussion with them. I would treat them just like I would anyone else. However, if someone's wearing a Trump hat, a Make America Great Again shirt, anything patriotic, they are automatically looked at as less than. How is the city different than back in the day when Democrats were looking at black people as less than? They're still doing it today. The Democrats and liberals hate black conservatives. Liberals in general hate conservatives. Remember what I was talking about yesterday, the word hate. people that respond with hate and negativity and vitriol and spite, that is evil. Those people have evil in their hearts. If you can treat someone different, if you can snatch a hat off someone's head, if you can, you know, try to smear them on social media, you're doing the devil's work. You're not high and mighty. You're not holier than thou, and I'm going to expose you for the bigot that you are while you sit there and try to act like you're super tolerant and super moral and virtuous. And I love everyone. I love everyone unless they think different. See, the liberal thought plantation, they want people to look different but think the same. They don't care. They don't care. It's like you can have green hair, you can have purple hair, you can be from the Virgin Islands, you can be from anywhere in the world, you can love whoever you want. We're so accepting and tolerant, but you better not be patriotic. You better not have conservative values, because if you do, you're not one of us. You're a less than, you're an other. That's how we're going to treat you. We're going to treat you like an other if you act this way or if you think this way. It's really sad. It's really sad. And especially in the black community, it's extremely sad, because how is it that the most pro-black liberals out there, they're always talking about how, like, we need to support black businesses, we need to come together as a community, we need to support each other, like blacks need to come together. But then they won't support black conservatives running for office. I mean, John James is running in Michigan. I feel like if you're truly pro-black, you should be voting for every black candidate on the ballot, whether they're Democrat, Republican. Well, we already know you're gonna vote the Democrats in, because you're voting based on skin color, because that's just how it is. They try to make it sound like they vote based on values, but they're voting based on skin color. They're voting based on skin. And then if it's a black conservative, then they're voting based on values. See, they won't support a black conservative because they say black conservatives aren't black, but they're not the ones who decide who's black or not. That's what's funny. You don't get to. Why do you think that you are? You think that you are just God's gift to the world, and you get to decide who's black and who's not, and you get to revoke black cards and all that nonsense. It's like, man, get out of here with that. Like I said, I'm going to double down. I will be supporting Trump 10 times more, tenfold, because what happened this weekend was special. It was God's work. God brought all these young, black, bright, articulate, educated leaders together in our nation's capital to save our country, to hear from free thinkers, to learn about conservative values, to meet with the president, and to spark a new civil rights movement, because it is incomprehensible that you can't have diversity of thought in our country. And again, like I said, this isn't just a black or white thing. Right now, it's happening in the black community more. We're a smaller percent of the population, and we're disproportionately Democrat. But, other races, you have a lot of white conservatives. Obviously, you have a lot of white liberals, you have a lot of white conservatives. So it's not as big of an issue. This is just more of an intolerance of thought. But they don't necessarily dehumanize in the white community the way they do in the black community. They're like, you're not even black. You're an Uncle Tom. You're such a sellout. You're such a horrible person because you don't think the way I need you to think. You need to be a Democrat if you're black. If you're black and you're not a Democrat, you're not black. You're not a person. We don't respect you. We're going to get all of our celebrities and our gatekeepers, our mental gatekeepers. We're going to get them out in the mainstream and smear you, Kanye. We're going to talk bad about you. We're going to make you look horrible. We're going to make you seem sane, like you're off your medication. Sad thing is, a lot of people are conservatives because of the way Democrats act, because of the way liberals treat people, because they don't even believe they're doing anything wrong. The level of arrogance that you see with the liberals within the liberal community it's insane. It's insanity. They don't even believe they're doing anything wrong. They feel like they're moral and virtuous and this is the right thing. I've been told by my liberal thought plantation gatekeepers that this is how I need to act, this is how I need to treat conservatives. And it's just sad. It's just sad. But again, I am more than happy to fall on the sword and continue exposing, because I'm going to respond with love. I'm not going to fall down and stoop down to that level. So if you want to come at me with hate, if you want to use ad hominem attacks, that's fine. But two things that you're exposing is that you can't refute my argument, and then you're also exposing your bigotry, your intolerance. I find it interesting that I had so many friends on Instagram, because Instagram is one place where I never really post anything, but I posted some things from the Young Black Leadership Summit and from the Walk Away movement. I posted a sign that someone was holding up at the gala the other night that said like, I used to be a liberal and I walked away. I can show you how to walk away. And I captioned it and I said, you know, it looks like people are leaving the Democrat Party in the masses. And I have this app. Judge me later for it. I'm so petty, but I don't care because I'm curious. You know, I have this app that will notify me when I have new unfollowers on Twitter, Instagram, all the, you know, social media, and it'll tell me like who is the person that unfollowed me, how many times or how many people unfollowed me today. I got probably like 9 or 10 unfollowers. Now I don't really care about losing people because I post for political. It could be that they just don't politics in their timeline, you know. But there are a lot of people who claim to be these bleeding heart liberals. I love everyone. Everyone's awesome. I'm just such a good person because I accept everyone. But as soon as I say, you know, people are leaving the Democrat Party, why are people being Democrats? Like, why do we support this party? They're unpatriotic. They don't care about this country. They care more about illegals than they do American citizens. Whenever I say anything political, people want to unfollow me and unfriend me. And it's just like, again, I'm exposing you for your bigotry and intolerance. So you can't tolerate someone who thinks differently than you. You've been programmed and brainwashed to not accept or be willing to be open enough to conversate and have a dialogue, productive dialogue with someone who is different than you. And see, this whole one thing I noticed with the walk away movement is the walk away movement isn't about people leaving the Democrat Party for the Republican Party. In fact, I think it's just people separating themselves from the unhinged left. They just don't want to be a part of it. So they're taking a stand. They're making a statement. They're like, a lot of them are like, I used to be a liberal. I was a liberal. I still consider myself a liberal. But whatever is happening on the left is just so regressive that it's unrecognizable anymore. It's just fascist and authoritarian and violent and militant and hateful. And what is this new thing that's growing on the left? It's not about them becoming Republican. Yet it gets talked about as, oh, look at this Russian bot thing or this campaign to, you know, recruit for midterms for Republican voters. It's like you created this with your bigotry and your craziness. People aren't becoming Republicans. They're becoming free thinkers. They're freeing themselves from that mental thought plantation, the slavery over there. And a lot of them probably don't even like Trump. So that's the thing. It's like you either hate Trump or you're automatically on the right. So by default, so many people find themselves on the right. So it's really just a recruiting mechanism for conservatives, for Republicans. Like this is literally recruiting because if you were on the left and then you saw the left get so regressive, you saw them go so far to the left and they became so hateful, and now they've kicked you out, like you're no longer in the club, and now you find yourself on the right by default, and you're like, well, I guess I'm standing over here with conservatives. They're treating me nice. And then you start hearing about conservative values. You start hearing about, you know, policy or whatever it is. And then you're like, actually, this makes more sense. I'm going to go ahead and register as a Republican. I'm going to vote for Republicans in the midterms. So the work is already done by just the left being so unhinged. It's like you can't stray by from that 3x5 index card with approved opinions. If you have one opinion that's not on that index card of approved opinions, you're cast out. And not only are you cast out, we're smearing you on social media. We'll attack you in public. We will run you out of restaurants, you know, because I mean, that's what they do on the left. That's what they do on the left. And they don't denounce it. They actually will have their leaders come out and say, this is what you need to do. You know, you need to get unhinged. You need to be uncivil with them. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say. You know, I'm not surprised that Al Sharpton said what he said. I'm still disgusted by it. I hope that this really pushes the issue further in the Black community that we can't tolerate difference of opinion. We need diversity of thought. Diversity of thought is healthy. Diversity of thought is the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters is what is in that brain that God gave you. Are you using it or are you just a slave to the tyranny of the groupthink? You know, it's tyranny. When you're in a groupthink and they sit there and say like, all right, you're a guard, you're pretty much you suck. All right, you're an Uncle Tom, you're a coon because you don't think the way I want you to think. You need to think like me, or you're not a black person. Who knew that just thinking different turns your skin color white? That's crazy. It's also like, yeah, if you're conservative, you're a white person. You like to be white. So what you're saying is black people can't have conservative values. Black people aren't allowed to have conservative values. If you're black by default, you're a Democrat because of your skin color. See, this will force the issue. This will force the issue because what they don't realize is these bigots like Al Sharpton, people are seeing this. People are noticing that there are a lot of people that are just neutral. They're like, wait a minute. I've seen a lot of black people say like, you know what? I'm not for either party. I'm sitting here in the middle. I'm just going to kind of let this play out and see what happens. Well, they're seeing people like Al Sharpton, people like Don Lemonhead. They're seeing uh, Ti and all these black leaders, like I said, gatekeepers of thought. They don't want you thinking differently. Snoop Dogg, all these people on the left, they're seeing, wow, they're being so hateful. They're being so unruly. Ben Carson was called a porch monkey. What? Why? What name has Ben Carson ever called anyone? Did he deserve to be called that? What did he do? Maybe he said something you didn't disagree with, but do you have to dehumanize him? You dehumanize him because you disagree with his politics. You know, they're seeing the way that you have all these young, educated black conservatives coming together, and it's been all love. There's been nothing but love and positive energy and discussion and dialogue. There's been some disagreements even, but it's all civil. It's 100% civil. I've seen nothing but smiles on faces between YBLS and the walkaway movement or the walkaway summit thing that they're having. I've seen nothing but positive energy, nothing but love. It's nothing but God. That's all I can really say. And then on the other side, it's so plain to see as we continue to polarize in one direction or the other. You're seeing more civility on the right. You're seeing people not even on the right, just in the center. Everyone's just kind of coming to the center, uniting together and expressing love, and that to me that fills me up. So I'm full, guys. I'm filled up. This weekend has been so positive, so extraordinary, so historical, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. I'm excited for midterms. I'm excited to vote. I just really want to get beyond this hump. It just feels like we're climbing this hill, and we want to get to the other side, which is we voted Democrats out, and maybe those people on the left will start to become civil, and we can start having discourse in our society again instead of, oh, I don't like that person's opinion, so they need to be banned. I need them banned from social media, please. Please ban those opinions. They're dehumanizing me with their NPC memes, but then they're dehumanizing people like Ben Carson, calling them porch monkey. See, it's just so easy. Because they don't use logic over on the left. There's absolutely no logic. It's 100% emotional fuel that they're running on. That makes it easy for us to call out their double standards, expose them for their hypocrisy, and the people in the middle are like, I'm just chilling. They're seeing it. They're seeing the Al Sharptons. They're seeing the Jesse Jacksons. They're seeing the Ti's, the Snoop Dogs, the Root, Tariq Nasheeds, all these race pimps out there that have something to say about black conservatives going to meet with a president. They all have something to say about it, but they're the ones that are the most intolerant. They're the ones that don't want to have a discussion. They don't want to drive for results. They want to drive for more victimhood and victim blaming, and their Democrat masters that they're going to be voting for. Let me not insult. But the people that they're going to be voting for want everyone hooked up to the government. They want everyone suckling at the teat of the government, hooked up to welfare, and create government dependence. So all a black conservative is suggesting is we don't need government. We can do it on our own. We're sovereign individuals. We can govern our own affairs. When has the government controlling someone's life helped them come out of any kind of situation that they're in, be it economic or otherwise? You don't see someone become dependent on the government and then all of a sudden like, all right, cool, I'm good. I don't need government anymore. Now I'm on my way to millions. No, you actually have to do it yourself. At the end of the day, God put you here for a reason. Everyone should find out what their reason is. Everyone should connect with that divine energy. And, once you connect with the divine, your life's work will kind of be put out in front of you like mine is. I said I was never in politics before, never in my life. It's only been probably 7, 8 months since I even started posting about it politically. And then my YouTube channel, I've only been around for 6 months, and I'm approaching 10,000 subs really fast. So I got to thank you guys. You're the ones that are sharing and liking and commenting and, blasting it out on Twitter. So I appreciate that. I appreciate all the love I get in the comment section. I don't get to read all of the comments, obviously, because I get thousands of them now, but I do try to. But if there's a personal message you want to share, if there's something that you want to say personally and you have more to comment on or whatever, just send me an email. I've always put the email in the description, MikeNificent813 at gmail.com, if you guys want to, reach out. So, yeah, guys, the Young Black Leadership Summit is wrapped up, and the Walkaway campaign is wrapped up as well. I might try to get over to Trump International before I head to the airport, because I do want to shake Dinesh D'Souza's hand, because he's the one who inspired me to make that Walkaway video where I talked about the party switch myth. I would love to go shake his hand and say thank you so much for making Hillary's America. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for your contributions to the Black community. You're not even Black, and you've made significant contributions to the Black community just by putting information out there for us to find out and understand the real history. And then also, I would love to pick his brain about how not only did the party switch not happen, you can see evidence right now, as of whenever Al Sharpton made that comment, that there was absolutely no party switch. There's still no evidence of a party switch when Democrats are still mad about Black people going free. Jesus. There's still evidence of Black people being publicly lynched now. It's digital lynching. It's public. It's on TV. It's in newspapers. There's articles, Facebook posts, tweets. Black people are still being lynched by Democrats. It's just in the public sphere now. They'll lynch you in the public square because they don't like Black people going free. They don't want anyone going free. Like I said, this slavery trans race. This is a thought plantation. This is a plantation that they want to hook you up to the government, control your thoughts and your information and everything. So I would love to talk to Dinesh about that and pick his brain. So hopefully he's over there, but I don't know, guys. I'm probably just going to head straight to the airport. I'm really exhausted. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to wrap up saying goodbye to DC. I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, follow me on, follow my page on Facebook, MikeNificent813, Instagram, MikeNificent813, Twitter, MikeNificent813, or you can email me, MikeNificent813 at gmail.com. If you guys want to donate, there will be links to my PayPal and Patreon in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.